Hello and welcome to our Don't Starve playthrough. In this playthrough I will be showing you some tips and tricks on how to survive the harsh environment of Don't Starve single player in this case, and in this case as well, Reign of Giants. And in this world we have spawned during the spring. I can tell because the afternoon is longer than the day. And so what we will have to concern with is rain, a lot of it. And that's basically it. There's nothing more challenging other than the rain during this season. So with that in mind, we will need to make an umbrella and a football helmet, and we will be protected from the rain. But aside from preparing to deal with the present season, we also need to worry with the upcoming one, the summer. So summer means random things on your screen catching on fire, and a lot of heat. So you'll need to control those two things. We will control the random burning of our base with a structure called the Ice Flingomatic, and we will deal with the temperature, hopefully, with some gear, leaning towards temperature cooling, and probably some thermal stones. Hopefully we can get ice transformed Chester as well, so we can always guarantee we have a fridge with a thermal stone at 0 degrees with us. That will be pretty helpful. But right now at the start, what I'm concerned with is gathering as much twigs and grass as possible, screening the initial area, the area where we spawn, for flint, for berries, carrots, flowers, and gather all of them up. The petals will make sure I'll have enough fertilizer when it's time to base build, and the twigs and grass will make sure I have torches and resources to make my backpacks, my prototype, my shovels, etc. I would not chop down trees in the early game. I think that's a bit of a bait. You do not need a fire to survive the night. You do not need to stay put to survive the night. You merely need to assess the situation you're facing. So, if you're in the swamp, of course, it's a bit dangerous to run around with a torch, but I still don't advise against it, as long as you're sure you're not going to get damaged, or you can, sneak out a quick grass suit to prevent any random tentacle or merman of getting a hit on you and dealing more damage than you want. But yeah, I would advise against making an axe. That's gonna occupy space in your inventory. The wood will occupy space in your inventory, and you can't really afford this right now. See, I'm only collecting stuff around my spawn area, and my inventory is almost all almost halfway to being full, which means we're not gonna have much room to wiggle with the resources we decide to grab. So there's a wormhole over there. So the initial phase of the game should be directed towards mapping the world, and whilst mapping you also want to make sure you gather as much of the needed resources as you can. You'll be wanting to make at least 2 pickaxes and gather some gold and some rock and some flint. We have 5 flint with us, and there's a gold vein right there. Exactly. We're in the mosaic biome. That's the name of this specific biome, and they usually have a graveyard and some trees, some random grass or twig plants, some gold veins, and some niter veins. Um, and there's always a lot of rock and flintling about, and you usually can get 2 pickaxes worth of stuff. Um, until you stack up and you simply have no more room to store your minerals, so it becomes a bit pointless to keep mining and end up with a X percentage pickaxe on your inventory, or all of the minerals you couldn't harvest on the ground. And gold stacks up pretty fast because it's 20 maximum stack load. Oh. An unfortunate thing here is that the food will, of course, spoil faster, because we will not be able to prevent wetness from reaching our inventory. It's just not gonna happen, especially in the early stages of the game. Really hard to come up with an umbrella and a football helmet from the immediate start. Is this a forest biome? After a mosaic? I need to be careful, because if it is a forest biome, I don't want to randomly burn all of it to the ground, because there might be interesting resources laying about. Okay, we're feeling some coldness. That's due to the winter. We just turned the corner on the winter season into the spring. So of course we're gonna feel a little bit of the temperature deficit. Okay. Again. I don't mind just lighting these trees on fire, because it preserves the torch, and it helps me keep a little bit of a check on the wetness and the temperature. I can keep moving, ignite the next one, keep going, use them as sources of light, make it easier to explore. I am quite blind, so every little bit helps. Not too blind, but not too not too proficient in seeing either. Okay, so I didn't see any gold veins over there, so I'm not gonna concern myself with going back there. Okay, am I closing in on too many rocks? Doesn't look like it. Let's just avoid the tall bird. It's probably 40 damage a hit. I would like to avoid that. Seems like in this cemetery, in this graveyard, there will be loose pieces of gold on the floor. I just found one. But maybe not. Maybe it's actually... No, there is. There's a couple of golds here and there. Okay. I could grab these pig skins. They will be very important. Of course. Oh, yeah, I really need to... It's hard to collect ice during this season. Oh, I'm not gonna do... No, I am gonna do the 2 pickaxes. Wow, this is beautiful. Look at this! It's almost like it's 3 biomes, but it's just 2 biomes connecting. It's a deciduous forest and a mosaic. This is so cute. This little road here. I'm just gonna harvest the pig skin. I don't mind using up 1 slot of inventory for this. I think it's very much worth it, because I hardly come back to touchstones to harvest pig skin. It's very rare. So might as well grab them while I am traveling and randomly finding them. Collect all of the gold. Be very greedy with your gold. bait the attack, then move in for the thing you wanna grab. I think it's 3 on me, which is fine. I end up mapping the edge of the exit of the biome, so it works for me. Do not tempt them too much. They do a lot of damage. To fix it, you'd need a lot of help, probably. Maybe some butterflies. Speaking of, I can eat my butterfly and some of the berries. They're eventually going to spoil, so might as well get rid of the wet ones and move on to dry ones. Keeping your inventory organized can also be a lifesaver. You never know when you'll need to be quick with your movements. Okay, hopefully I didn't skip anything too important because I wasn't looking at it. Okay, 126. Just gonna shove the rest of the berries in my mouth and be done with them. Okay, I can do rest of resources over here. I'm hearing gears, or not? My illusion, my mistake. I was careless. I was. Is that it? I doubt it. I believe there are some gear boys. But are there some gear boys? Maybe not. My illusion. It's okay if I grab 2 twigs over the stack limit because torches cost 2 twigs and 2 grass. So I'm actually not going 2 over, I'm just planning ahead. There is a chance that the Glommer dude doesn't spawn. Learned that one the hard way. I tried to teleport to the Glommer, but there was no Glommer. I was going crazy because I don't really trust my eyesight, so I was like, okay, it's gotta be here somewhere. I'm sure but I create so many worlds because I have a channel in Portuguese, I have a channel in English. I mean, I make so many worlds that eventually I mix them in my head. Okay, no, I'm pretty sure there was a Glommer here. Yep, there was a Glommer. And I was looking for Glommer because of the pan flute. Because I thought in Don't Starve single player you can use the pan flute to make the dragonfly fight easier. But I was so mistaken. I don't need that at all for the dragonfly. I only need some sort of fire pits. I mean, probably endothermic fire pits, right? Because it will be hot as fudge. So might as well go for that. 2 endothermic fire pits. It's a bit of a waste of niter, but we can always go into Don't Starve Shipwrecked and stuff like that and get some more niter. Shipwrecked should be especially good at it, no? Because of the volcano respawning the rocky things, the lava pits, lava piles. I think that's the name. Okay. So just keep autopiloting the mapping. Don't worry too much. I will grab the spear from this set piece because I like having a way of defending myself. And since I found the set piece, might as well use the advantage I've secured. Okay, some more petals. I'll shoot for 80 petals, 2 stacks. Very well, seems like now it's not connecting to anything, so I'll just use my pickaxe. I'll do 2 stacks of gold. I don't mind that at all. I'm going to need a lot of gold. I'm gonna need it for lightning rods, for alchemy engine, fridges as well, endothermic fire pits. So definitely need to gather my gold. It might not be a bad idea to keep walking in this direction. Oh, there's an inland sea. maybe not. I'm just gonna go there then. I don't know what's going on, so might as well. I should probably stop gathering flint about now. I don't wanna stock up on too much. Okay. So it's just a weird sort of ledge. See, by doing this to my torch, by kind of saving it and alternating it between tree and torch, I'm actually saving a lot of durability. And by saving durability, I also save grass and twigs that I would have to gather. Okay. You can do stuff while it's dark. You just have to use your keybar. Keybar? Spacebar, sorry. Your spacebar. Okay. Not gonna grab extra twigs just yet. Be very careful about the darkness, because if you end up on no light source, you will die. You'll get struck by, I think it's 100 damage or 70 damage. It's one of those numbers, and that might mean like triple, like 2/3 of your HP or half of your HP. It's never a good idea to get struck, unless you have some sort of plan that involves dying or being low on HP. I don't recommend it. She's giving off like a huge light. Oh, the torch is gone. You can use your hand as one extra slot to your inventory, right? So keep that in mind when deciding what you're gonna gather in the early game. There is a brick road. Chester might be around it. How close is this to the Pig King? I think it is connected, unfortunately. But it's pretty long. So this might mean that right over there is a pig village, which is decent. Very decent. Yeah, I believe so. Oh, no, wait. This is Pond Central. Pond Central, I mean. We ain't playing chess as of yet. Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's a pig village at the end. I'm not gonna waste much time. I'm gonna find it anyway. Okay, be careful of frogs. When they hit you, they don't do much damage, but they take stuff from your inventory. So they would take butterfly. If they hit me again, they take the hammer, and so forth. Okay, this is the... I think that's gonna despawn, but I don't have any fishing rod. That's the connection to the DLC, to the Shipwreck DLC. Our key to travel to other realities. Okay, we're gonna get very wet. Not much we can do about it. Just eat the food that spoils faster before it gets wet. Okay. So when we do find when we do map everything we want to map, the edges of the world, we will have a good idea of where everything is at, and then we can decide where exactly in the world we want to be basing. This guy gives me gear, so I'm gonna kill it. You just want to kind of bait out the headbutt and then just play it from there. You'll get used to it, don't worry about it too much. They are not hard to kite at all, don't worry. They might it might be a bit tricky in regards to range. You might not realize that they actually have a bit more range than they look like, but Practice makes perfect. Don't you worry, you'll get there. And now you know it's kind of 6 to 6.5% of spear to defeat a horse.
Mas o meu vídeo favorito. Então, mas o meu vídeo favorito acabou. Acabou.